On the way towards your goals, setbacks are inevitable. There are two main kinds that I want to talk about today. The first kind is setbacks from the world around you. This is when people say life happens to them. This might be work, family, other relationships, stuff that comes at you from the outside that has the potential to knock you off course. But these problems are so much easier to deal with than the setbacks that you create for yourself internally. When you slip up, when you fall off the path, when you show weakness. Now, this second kind is a lot more dangerous because the internal reality that you have is all that matters. There's no outside factor that can affect you like the hell you have the potential to create for yourself. Now, this is a video that I really didn't want to make because I fell off yesterday. I slipped up and I so badly want to be an example of an excellent role model who never misses, who is absolutely perfect. But perfection is unattainable. We can catch excellence if we chase perfection, but one day or another, we're all bound to slip up and fall off. It's a question of how quickly do you return back to the path without missing a beat. So, story is as follows. If you've been keeping up with my videos, you'll know that over the last 2 days, I was getting sleep deprived because my old friend Insomnia came and visited me with aggression, and I didn't help things by trying to mask it up with extra caffeine. Today I'm clean off the caffeine. I've slept long enough last night, but I'm still recovering. And yesterday was a refeed day. I was supposed to have some extra carbs to get more of a, get more glycogen back into the muscles, be more full, and regain a little bit of performance, feel more sane again. But I went way too overboard with it. Coach gave me a very specific list of ingredients and how many of each I should eat for my refeed. Did I listen to him? No. I'm sorry if you're watching this, bro. I know you write my plan for a reason, but man, sometimes the inner cuck goblin just comes out and he takes over. And I'm not yet strong enough to resist him every single time. Don't get me wrong, I'm winning way more battles than I'm losing, but after 2 nights of sleep, he came with a vengeance. And I know it sounds like I'm trying to justify myself, make excuses, I know. There is no excuse, right? I had a plan and I didn't follow it, simply put. So I overate quite hard last night. It seemed like I couldn't stop myself. It was just rice cakes, fruit, dates, bananas, just... I even overate on chicken breasts, if that's possible. But it's not about the physique, because there's not much damage that you can do. Even if you do one of those ridiculous 10,000 calorie cheat days that you see on YouTube, you're not really gonna damage your progress that much in just one day. It's not about the physique, it's about what happens to you on the inside, because when you slip up, when you allow the inner cuck goblin to break loose and you lose control of your impulses, you are reinforcing your old identity that you're trying to escape from with this new way of life. You're you're falling back to an older version of you that needs to die. And it's because your old identity wants comfort. He wants to keep you stuck in the same place, not making any progress, because change is scary. He truly cares about you. He wants to protect you. He's naturally evolved to take the easy, safe, and comfortable path, because that's in our biology. So I want you to talk to your inner cuck goblin, and I want you to reason with him. Just be like, bro, I'm trying to do this for us. You know what I mean? You see how Smeagol and Gollum talk to each other? The two voices, that's how you want to talk to it. But you want to have compassion for your inner goblin, because he wants what's best for you and you want what's best for you. But you are both in disagreement about what that actually is. But anyway, let's get back on track, just like you need to if you fall off, right? So when you slip up, when you cave in to your old inner cuck goblin, the quickest, most effective way to fall back into your old habits entirely and give up all progress and fall back into a major rut is to keep listening to your inner cuck goblin. And your inner cuck goblin is going to start to feed you negativity. He's going to start to feed you self-doubt because you broke a promise to yourself, naturally. But the quickest way to silence those voices is to not allow one slip up to become a landslide. To literally just right your wrong, not next week, not on Monday, not tomorrow, right this second. If you overrate, let's say, you shouldn't punish yourself. That's a mistake I always used to make. I used to absolutely fall off all kind of structure and plans that I wrote for myself with a massive binge of just sugary garbage, which I didn't do yesterday. Yesterday I binged on dates, bananas, rice cakes, and chicken breast. So it's a step in the right direction, I guess. And yeah, what was I was saying was, when you do slip up and binge, no. What I'm sorry. What I was saying was, when I used to slip up and binge, I would try to overcompensate the next day. I would tell myself, I messed up, I need to punish myself. I'm gonna fast all day. I'm gonna do more steps, and I'm just gonna reset everything on all of my dopamine systems. And you know, most of the time I did actually stick to my word. I did fast the entire rest of the day after, but nothing actually changed in terms of my long-term progress and my ability to control my impulses, because I would cleanse myself with this fast. I'd be like, okay, yes, you've righted your wrong, back to the path. But I always had this safety net, this backup option in my mind, being like, okay, if I do mess up, all I have to do is just fast the next day. And honestly, fasting is pretty easy. I've done up to 3 full days of fasting, and it's a lot easier than being in a prolonged calorie deficit where each meal is just like a little teaser. It's just like putting the tip in, if you know what I mean. It's not enough to really satisfy you at all. But hey, that's not the point. The point is, you shouldn't punish yourself by going even more extreme the next day to make up for your failures. No, it's very simple. Just return back to the plan that you were supposed to. Because trust me, one day isn't going to destroy your progress. We're in this for life, right? We're in this for the long-term game. And all that matters is that we're trending upwards. Yes, we can do everything we can to make the trend as aggressive and exponential as possible, but it's still going to be like a chart, like one of those forex charts where there's ups and downs, even on the rise up. And honestly, when you mess up, just return back on the path that is proven, that you have confidence in. Because the damage that you do in one slip up is entirely psychological. You are reinforcing your cut goblin, but the best way to keep reinforcing him is to give up hope, is to start spiraling into this avalanche of doom where you let one habit become another and then another and then another, and before you know it, you're jacking off 6 times a day, eating McDonald's for every meal, scrolling all day, freaking smoking weed like a loser again. But hey, that all started because you broke one promise. You broke trust in yourself. So the best thing you can do is regain that trust as quickly as possible, because it's okay. Just like, the quicker you can just dismiss those negative thoughts of self-doubt, the better. Because I'll be honest with you, right here, right now, I'm laying it out all on the line. Today I woke up and obviously there was brain fog. Of course, when you overeat, you have inflammation in the body. And everything was just slower today. The caffeine withdrawals and the accumulated sleep deprivation definitely didn't help matters, but it's definitely a day of low energy today. I kept procrastinating making this video. It's now damn near 8 p.m. By the time I'm recording this, because all day I was trying to come up with different topics, trying to avoid this very thing, trying to, you know, finagle my way around it, because I didn't want to come on here and admit my failures. But I realized that the most important, impactful thing I can do is be vulnerable and share the lessons that I've learned. So here's the plan, okay? I have the rest of the day to refeed, to keep refeeding. We started the refeed yesterday and we're going to run it over into today, and that's the plan, right? I could have very easily gone back into my old ways and said, I overate yesterday, I'm fasting all of today to make up for it. No. I'm still refeeding, so I'm eating a lot more than I was during the weeks prior. But the point is, the physique hasn't changed at all. In fact, the extra carbs, the extra food made me wake up and I looked good. Like, I looked full. I looked ripped but dense at the same time. And I took some post-gym pump photos for Coach, and he was like, damn, you're really blowing me away. And I'm blowing myself away a bit as well. But it's all mental, right? Because even though I messed up and it didn't have any negative impact on my physique, in fact, it actually had quite a benefit. No. It's mental, because I broke a promise to myself. The confidence took a hit. The self-trust, it wavered a bit today. And I wasn't moving like my usual freaking moving and grooving self today, and you could probably tell that this video took a lot more resistance to make than usual. But like always, every single time I get on here, even especially on the days where I really don't want to, the energy comes back. I start to feel incredible. And I always tell myself I should have done this earlier, but hey, this is part of killing the old identity, because the old inner cuck goblin would have felt so ashamed of my slip up yesterday that, you know, he would have not either picked any reason to get on here and try to come up with a new topic, swerve around the idea, and it would have felt forced, it would have felt misaligned, or he would have just sacked it off entirely and been like, No, I'm not, I don't, I feel too disgusting. I'm not valuable enough to make a video today. I'm not in the right headspace, right? But this has been a step in the right direction. We're back on track. Tomorrow, we'll stay on plan. Gonna start digging again. Gonna start pulling even more fat so that by the time I step on stage, it's gonna be nuts. Now, I can get on here and I can say, I promise I'm not gonna slip up again. I promise I'm gonna be entirely on plan. I'm not gonna do that because it might happen. Of course, I have control. I can say it and make it happen, but I'm not going to because I'm human and I don't want to break promises. So that's that. When you fall off, get back on as quickly as possible. Don't let the negativity win. The best way to do that is literally just to reframe your mind. Reframe your mind. How quickly can I do the opposite of what I want my old identity to do? Man, I'm sorry, that was way too wordy and complicated. Simply put, bro, breathe. Return to the present moment. It's all okay. You didn't kill your progress by one slip up, but you will destroy your progress if you make that slip up a landslide. Take it easy, brother. Have an amazing weekend.